All right, welcome back to the show. At this time, we are joined by Kaiya Sheron from Somerset High School in Somerset, Kentucky. He's also a commit for the 2021 class for the Kentucky Wildcats. Welcome to the show, Kaiya.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, we appreciate you taking some time and being with us and hope you're able to stay safe and out of way of the coronavirus and all that's going around right now. And we want to talk to you a little bit about your recent commit to Kentucky. And just let's start right there. What was it about Kentucky that made you know this was the place that you wanted to continue your academic and athletic career?
Well, Kentucky, every time I was there up in Lexington, it always felt like home. It was always comfortable for me, and it was close to home, close to my sister who's at college as well. So it was always close and always felt like home.
Absolutely. And I know that's going to be awesome for you to be able to play in front of the home state crowd with your family in the stands. That really does make a difference when your family can be there, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now, anytime we have a recruit on this show, I like to talk about the relationships that they build with the coaching staff and especially the assistants on the coaching staff because those positional coaches are who you will be spending the most and the bulk of your time with during practices and preparation and all of those things. So, my question for you is this: who was it on the Kentucky coaching staff that you built the closest relationships with?
Coach Henshaw was really close to me. Every time he can, he texts me or calls me, and we just talk. And every time I was up there, he was always honest with me, telling me where I was, like on his recruiting, if I was like ahead of some people. And he always told me I was his number one recruit at quarterback and that he wanted me there. And he was always honest with me. And then whenever I committed, Coach Morrow was super excited, and he also told me that I was always the number one guy on the board. So they were always honest with me, and we built a really good relationship.
Now, another question I always like to talk to recruits about that have committed to a school is about the relationship that they've been able to build with the head coach. Because as a media member, I get the professional side. As fans, we see the professional side with the occasional passionate side, but we don't get the inner looks that you get as a recruit who has Coach Stoops in his home. He has them talking to his parents. And so there's a more intimate relationship than just a professional relationship with the head coach. So, my question for you is this: what type of impression have you had of Coach Stoops thus far?
He really cares about his kids. I went to the first spring practice, and he was always talking to the kids, asking like if they had any problems like in the classroom or something like that. And he was genuinely cared about their well being in school, out of school, on the field, off the field. And he was just cared about his kids. And on the field, he adjusted really well this season, obviously with Terry Wilson going down. So he's obviously can make decisions on the fly, such as with Lynn Bowden at quarterback, and he had a pretty good season without one of his top players, and he adjusted to it.
Absolutely. Once again, we're talking to Kaiya Sheron from Somerset High School in Somerset, Kentucky. He is a 2021 commit to the University of Kentucky. Now, I want to talk a little bit about that Somerset football team. Obviously, you guys just came off a dream season, but it wasn't that long ago that this wasn't a team that looked like it was headed in that direction. 2017, you guys only won 5 games. However, in 2018, you bumped that number up to 12. And then last season, obviously, you won 14 games and a state championship in dramatic fashion. So let me ask you this: what was it like to be a part of such a big resurgence by your high school there in Somerset?
It's been really nice for the community to get Somerset back onto where we needed to be, and we're looking to grow and everything. Just make this season like we did last year and keep improving. And to watch everybody from the seniors whenever they were sophomores and I was a freshman, the way they've grown up and improved in football players as men and as everything, it's been really fun to watch.
Now, I want to say two things about that, Kaya. First of all, I don't know, you may not realize it now, but you will one day. I've lived in big cities and I've lived in small cities, and big cities are cool and they have their, their benefits. but when you can win in a small town like Somerset, man, it's something special for that community. I mean, it has a lasting impact. It's something that every store owner is proud of. It is something that every citizen is proud of. So I know that's been an awesome experience for you to be a part of that. But number two, we talked about the improvement as a team. I've got to tell you, man, I watched your film and I went back and looked at some older film. You improved as much as anybody in the country last season. Not that you weren't good the year before, but you got really, really efficient last year. And I said this in my scouting report about you. I think you throw the ball outside the numbers as well as any quarterback I've scouted in the 2021 class so far. And I mean, you've just improved dramatically. Now, I know you're not content with that because your senior season is getting ready to come up. What are some of your goals for your senior year?
Obviously, as a team, I want to get back to where we were. We'll obviously win the state tournament or state championship, and that's the main goal. For me, my sophomore year, I only threw for like 2,000 yards, and then last season I threw for 3,000 yards, a little over 3,000, and ran for almost 1,000. So somewhere around those numbers. I obviously want to improve, so a little higher than that, but something reasonable.
Once again, we're talking to Kaiya Sheron from Somerset High School in Somerset, Kentucky, and a 2021 commit to the University of Kentucky. Now, Kaiya, I said this in my scouting report. You are a phenomenal athlete as well. And for those who are watching on TV, are probably looking at a picture right now of you jumping over a guy's head that's almost standing up. So, listen, I got to wonder, you do play basketball, right? I mean, you've got a tremendous vertical.
I do play basketball. I'm not a basketball guy. I'm just the rebounder and dunker. That's all I do.
Well, I'm telling you what, man, you look like you could have windmilled as high as you were up over top of that guy's head in that game. But again, Kaya, we appreciate you taking some time and being with us. And I want to encourage all of our listeners because it's only a lot of it's going to be determined on your hard work and your work ethic, which I think you have, and keeping your head on straight. But man, you have a chance to do something really special at Kentucky. I've been really impressed by your film, and I'm looking really forward to following your career. Now, for our listeners on radio and our viewers on TV, can you allow them to know where they can find you on social media so they can follow you throughout your senior year?
My Instagram is Kaiya Sheron, and then my Twitter is Kaiya Sheron 2.
Absolutely. Once again, Kaya Sheron from Somerset High School in Somerset, Kentucky. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to following your career.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.